I'm here with Lilian Edwards, who's professor of internet law at Sheffield University, to talk about Facebook when you die.
Well, more generally about the web when you die, I suppose, and your email, your Facebook profile, your eBay account and reputation, your avatar on World of Warcraft. How do you secure these to transmit to your heirs, or do they just belong to the site and die with you? And
How is this any different from the real world?
It's different in
the so-called real world.
Yeah, we had an argument about that. It's different in that usually when you leave your car, your house, your book, it's in your possession. And therefore people can then just simply get a court order of probate or whatever, and they take the staff, or even not go through a court. Whereas digital assets are almost wholly now in the possession of, and possibly the ownership of, another site, a third party, an intermediary.
Facebook, MySpace.
Yeah, exactly. So there's this problem of intermediation.
And what about how do these sites behave when somebody dies? You gave an example
Facebook
or Yahoo.
Yeah, indeed. Well, one of the points I was making is that there's vast variation, and it's not like law or even regulation or soft law. There's almost no visible policies. You have to ring them or email them and try and find out. Some don't reply, some take a lot of asking, some have got quite good policies, but it's completely discretionary. Facebook is kind of a high point in that they get a lot of people asking about Facebook profiles, so they actually have a form you can fill in and say, I'm a next of kin, I'm this kind of class of next of kin, I've got proof of death, can you memorialize the site or can you delete it? On the other hand, you get a site like Yahoo, which has got a privacy policy before its email and other types of things, that if the person dies, they close the account.
When the person dies.
When the person dies, indeed. Yes, good point. Death and taxes. That was going to be the working title of the thing. When you die, they close the account and they delete the emails because they think it protects the privacy of the deceased, which isn't itself interesting because many jurisdictions don't view the deceased as having any privacy. So
and then Yahoo got around this with a soldier in Iraq, you were saying.
Yeah, they didn't really get around it. There was an interesting case, the underreported case we have on this, where a US soldier died and the family asked not only to get his physical letters back, but to get his email back. And Yahoo said, no, this is our privacy policy. So they went to court and actually got a court order to receive the emails. But Yahoo, interestingly, still didn't give them the password to the account. What they did was they took the emails and put them on a CD and mailed it to the family. So in a way, they still preserved that kind of privacy.
What about shared preferences sites? Delicious, or you use the example of Last.fm.
Yeah, this is a very interesting one. I have no idea actually what Dig and Delicious do. Last.fm sort of accumulate your listening preferences and compare it to the profiles of all the other people involved. They say that when you die, your profile stays there because it's a community effort. Everyone who listens to Last.fm, everyone who gets their hard disk scrubbed is contributing to the evolution of better listening profiles for everybody. So in fact, they say it stays up there forever, although a court might say something else.
Okay. Any other interesting aspects of this you'd like to highlight?
I think the commercial aspect, which is the most obviously commercial one, which is really accounts and reputations on sites like eBay, or maybe other ones in future like Slashdot, other auction sites, because these have serious monetary value. I mean, there are real businesses operating on eBay, and I have heard horror stories about someone dying, they don't leave the password. In the meantime, all the accounts, the purchases go on left, the money sits in the balance and no one can get it, and it causes real hassle. So for that one, the practical message is, for God's sake, if you have an eBay business, leave your password in an envelope attached to your will.
And then you gave an example of a site that allows you to pass on your passwords to your next of kin.
This is a new evolution. There has been for a while sites that I call postmortem emailers, where it sends you an email every 6 months, and if you don't reply, it assumes you're dead, and then it sends these emails to people, which you can imagine it must be the basis of a film sometime. It's so unfortunate, right? There's one called Dead Man's Switch like that. That's free.
Dead Man's Switch.
Isn't it great? I had a slide of it, I didn't get to show. But there is also this newer, more sophisticated thing, of which Legacy Locker is kind of the best known, which only launched in April this year, where you give them all your passwords for all your sites. They strongly encrypt it. They claim that it then automatically transmits on news of your death to the heir that you specified, and therefore there is no way the courts can even interfere, which is interesting. Like if a court order was got that they should not give out these passwords, they still wouldn't be able to do anything about it because they claim it's encrypted and only the deceased had the key to the encryption.
Of course, then I'd be suspicious that they might have the keys to all of my accounts, and they could do something with that.
Well, maybe I don't know enough about encryption to know. Maybe that's another advantage of the site, and that it might protect your privacy because you hold the encryption key, and only you can unlock it.
I'm too cynical and suspicious.
I know. But it'd be nice if it was true, and I imagine there are mathematical proofs of these things.
Okay, so even in the Web 2.0 world, death is inevitable.
Yeah.
Though in some cases, with these shared sites, we might live on.
Yeah, and the sad fact is that because the people in Web 2.0 are all now relatively young, no one is thinking of making wills, and these are just problems waiting to happen.
And in the real world, nobody makes wills anyway.
Anyway, pretty much, yeah.
So why would they
make a really fancy digital will? That's right. But you can just put your passwords in an envelope, staple it to your will. It doesn't have to be high tech.
Good solution. Okay, that's a great practical solution. Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's